So welcome back to the channel. In today's video, taking a look at two key narratives with China and AI, both outperforming here even during a time of market weakness. I think this is quite telling and definitely something to be watching. Now on screen here, you can see Decentrader. These guys are a UK-based firm with a load of analytics across the market. I'm going to start showing this off a bit more. You can get a 7-day free trial with a link down below. Enough time for you to weigh up whether you want to get one of these subscriptions. Basically, shown on screen here is the Predator Thermal Vision for Bitcoin and ETH. This just gives you a bit of a color coding eyeball test as to whether we are bullish or bearish over a variety of timeframes here, from the low timeframes into the high timeframes. So this is something I've noticed, along with analysis from others, that Bitcoin may be likely to put in a little bit of a bounce here. There is a CME gap, which I'll show you in just a second. But on a time frame of maybe a few hours to 1 or 2 days, we are a little bit bearish here. So maybe some sideways chop, consolidation, or even downward pressure. But then on the longer term horizons, 3 days plus, we are looking on a bit of a bullish uptick here. So the trend could well continue after a bit of a pullback. That's pretty much what it's showing here. Open interest for Bitcoin is slightly up over the last 24 hours, just a little bit here. That is neutral on this indicator. The funding rate is showing as bearish at this moment in time. It is a positive funding rate, so a lot of people are trying to long this one. The long to short ratio went from 1.4 to 1.5 here. So this again could be indicative of a bit of chop and a move downwards. ETH a little bit more concerning, bearish on most of the indicators there. So just something to have your eyes upon. In terms of the CME gap, there is a gap from Friday that has been left around here, 23,300. These are typically filled, so I would expect us to try and revisit this area during the week ahead here. And as you can see, we're pushing towards the downside here, 22,800, the kind of bottom area of this range. This ties in neatly with the Dixie putting in a bit of a bullish rally here. Now up to 103. If we just pull this across, you can see it's actually come and tagged this area here. So this may be the extent of this rally. Definitely something to be monitoring. BTC weakness as the Dixie pushes higher is something we see time and time again. So definitely taking big notice of this as we go forward. As you can see, the general downtrend is still in play, but it has had a bit of a pump here off a very much bottomish region. So all focus on that to see how this plays out over the coming days. But let's kick off with the fun stuff, starting here with AI coins. So the current market cap of AI coins is just $1.7 billion. And as you can see, there's some huge green numbers here over the last day or couple of days. Loads of these were going actually vertical on Saturday, which was a little bit of a toppy sign. But is there something happening this week that could be pumping the AI bags? Yes. So I'll dive into that in just a moment. But as you can see from these huge green candles, is this overbought? Probably. Are we due a bit of a pullback? Maybe. But has this shown time and time again that it just keeps on pumping even when you think the rally's done? That is what I'm seeing. This is just one of those things. Shorting these is just stupid. This is clearly the narrative that is going to provide the biggest gains in the next cycle, in my opinion, that alongside gaming probably. And if we just look at the overall market cap here, $1.7 billion, the gaming market cap last cycle, 2021, around November, December time when it peaked, it was over $70 billion. Axie had a market cap of over $11 billion at one stage on its own. And so I think we will see multiple billion-dollar market caps for these. Singularity Net is currently top here, just around $500 million, the same as FET. And this one was market leader, but as you can see, 127% gain over the last week. Probably good idea here to buy some of the lower caps, wait till you get a double on them, and then play a risk-free bag by taking 50% back out. That is what I have been doing as a bit of a tactic here. And I've got a couple of free AI bags already, but I will be looking to add to more of these and potentially some of the newer ones that come online. Deep Brain Chain, I did mention this in a previous stream that it's having Uniswap liquidity added very soon. This is pumping nicely going into that. Alright Chain yesterday put in a monster of a day as well. So this is an area of the market to be really mindful of and kind of know what updates are coming. For example, Hero, which is a DEX aggregator that utilizes AI, currently is on Metis, but it is bridging over to Arbitrum as well very soon. So I think once that happens as well, this has got another big leg in it. Another one I would like to get a chunk of, maybe around $2 if possible, and then play that for the double and then take half out, and I've got a free bag then. But what is happening this damn week? So Google is holding an event about search and AI on February the 8th. That is Wednesday of this week. promising information on search maps and beyond. So this is potentially Google about to launch their ChatGPT rival here. So as we know, Microsoft were the big investors and winners of ChatGPT. They invested $30 billion for a stake. But now this, Google CEO Sundar Pichai just announced that the company is planning on letting people interact directly with its newest, most powerful language models as a companion to search very soon. So we're going to get something on Wednesday that could potentially see another wave of money flow into these AI coins. When you have a narrative this huge, we're clearly at ground zero of something really monumental for humans right now. Whether you find this scary or not doesn't really matter. We can all make some serious coin from this. So this is being streamed live on YouTube February the 8th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I think that's about 2:30 here in the UK. I would definitely suggest being on YouTube at this time to see exactly what is mentioned, but this could potentially be a lot of positioning around these coins going into that event. But if there's something big like a ChatGPT rival launched from Google, I think these are going to take another big leg up yet again. So that's on Wednesday. There is something to mention on Tuesday. Jerome Powell is having some form of speech. So potential headwinds for wider markets Tuesday. This could be bullish on Wednesday. The AI market clearly just not respecting the fact that Bitcoin's showing weakness here, pumping like crazy, which is what we like to see, positioning into the strength. And then this coupled with the China narrative, a lot of these tokens are Chinese based. And when you've got the Chinese bid coupled with AI, you're just seeing some parabolic growth. This is a prime example of this over the weekend. I managed to catch the trade on this by being very active over on Twitter. Not the kind of thing you can make a video about, as there's simply no time to react to some of these. So MDT, measurable data, this is a Chinese coin that is now embedded into the Mailtime app, which has 2 million active users over in China. So this was kind of a release on February the 4th. News cycle hit. This then broke out massively from its downtrend, and this is the view on the chart here. So this was early morning Saturday. It was around 3 cents, pumped all the way up to 8 cents here, has double topped around 8 cents, currently around 6.5 cents. But these narratives are providing real ammunition for these tokens to absolutely balloon in price. So if you can find any Chinese-based tokens with big integrations into some apps over in China, I think you're on to a winner. Another one here is Conflux. So this is actually a blockchain in itself. It's an EVM chain. So you can actually add this to your MetaMask and start using it. I've started to use it myself because this is apparently backed by the Chinese government. It may have received some grants. I'm trying to dig into all this information, but I thought this one was relevant to speak about. The market cap currently $150 million. And this was the one that in the last month had a big partnership with the Instagram of China.
China.
So in terms of the chart, the outlook here, it looks like it does want to push higher. It's kind of had its first level up, has started to take a breather here, has had a push up again, and now it's just waiting for more good news. And good news did come just earlier. Do let me know in the comments section down below if you want me to do a deep dive into this. We're just going to cover a few key topics and some news headlines here for Conflux. But this one, again, if you've got an EVM compatible layer 1 blockchain with the Chinese narrative behind it that does have actual things being built onto it and good partnerships, I do think this is a potential major winner. So people in Conflux community have often asked why CFX does not have a burning mechanism, says Mr. Ming Wu. Another great follow here over on Twitter. He says it already does have a burn mechanism. There are already 500 million, around 10% of the Genesis CFX being burned into the zero address. But I admit this may not be enough, so I think CFX needs more burning scenarios, i.e. burning part of the storage collaterals. Given the assumption that the NFT ecosystem in its core space is more and more flourishing, the storage collaterals could be significant. If this is approved, would you vote yes or no? So this was the 2nd of Feb. Then today on the 6th of February, CIP, so that is Conflux Improvement Proposal 107, has been posted. And this is about adding a burn mechanism to the chain. So this guy clearly has some form of influence. I'm not sure if he's part of their research team or what, but very interesting to start following allowing Chinese individuals over on Twitter to see the alpha in the markets here that we're really not getting exposed to as Westerners. So L1 chain, this is the one that has Instagram connections. I'll bring up the article here. China's Instagram chooses Conflux network for permissionless blockchain integration. In terms of the size of Instagram, this is not as big as that, but it does have quite a lot of users. It's called Little Red Book. And if you mint your NFTs on the Conflux network, you can show them off over on this version of Insta. The platform has 200 million active users at this moment in time. So this could be a kind of mass adoption move from this blockchain entity onto a social network here. This is very similar to what we've seen with Polygon and Instagram. So is this the Chinese version of Matic, dare I ask? You can check it out over on the App Store for yourself. You will need to do some translation on there. It is number 77 in the social network rankings. Now, something interesting about this as well, they've just had liquid staking released. So again, the kind of innovations we're seeing in the markets with LSDs, Conflux CFX has its own LSD now. You can stake it here with nucleon.space. So the current APY staking this thing is around 12 to 15%. These guys take a 10% cut, but then you've got a token you can still play around with whilst receiving the staking rewards in the background. So whether LSDs take off in this kind of region of China, very interesting to see, but clearly this coin has quite a lot of the key ingredients I was looking for. Another one to follow for this, observer.cfx. This guy is posting daily updates on Conflux. Number of transactions on the network yesterday, 37,360 additional users or new accounts, and around 2 new contracts deployed. They have their own DEX on there called Swappy DEX, which I have checked out for myself. That is also ultra low cap. Very degen stuff. But I do think that this is kind of worth a punt in my opinion, and following some of these dudes. Back again to Mr. Ming Wu, who posted this just the other day. CNHC is the Chinese stablecoin of the Conflux network. So again, they've got their own stable on that chain. CNHC, current market cap $740,000. So again, in the early innings of this. And you can check out the ecosystem page. I'll leave it down below because they do have a lot of backers and kind of partnerships here with the likes of Binance, OKX, and some other wallet providers and exchanges you may have heard of. So this is Conflux eSpace. This is the main chain here. And you can see a load of information on their version of Etherscan in terms of block time, network hash rate. This is both POS and POW. The number of transactions on here, the transfer accounts, and the transfer stats more generally. You can see everything has been ticking up here since the end of Jan. So this is when the kind of Instagram of China partnership was released, and they have been increasing the number of transaction holders on the chain. So if this is a key catalyst for this one to really boom, I would expect we see some major upticks in numbers across the board in the coming months. So this one's just firmly on my radar. I've taken a position because I do think this is a very strong narrative and it has a lot of key components I've been looking for. And so I'll add this to the list to do updates on, maybe on a kind of bi-monthly basis. So very interesting stuff. AI coins, Chinese-based coins, all been kicking off really nicely here, even whilst we're in a bit of a downturn in the BTC price action as Dixie ticks up. Clearly, China doesn't care. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Check out the link down below for Decentrader. Get yourself a 7-day free trial and really see what you like about that. I think it's a really good informational source to kick off the start of your day. As ever, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.